Food shortages in Canada 2022. With inflation in Canada reaching levels not seen in more than 30 years, many fear that current high levels of food insecurity will only worsen in the months or years ahead. Many interconnected variables, according to experts, are leading to soaring food and other basic prices. Many Canadians have lost their jobs or are suffering supply chain challenges due to the pandemic. The pandemic has put additional strain on several sections of the supply chain, leaving many people without access to essential necessities. The Canadian economy and food supply have been severely harmed by inflation, poor weather, and trucker shortages south of the border. According to industry analysts, once the Omicron variation snags supply networks and a vaccination requirement for cross-border truckers take effect, Canadians will undoubtedly face shortages and higher pricing. These include absenteeism-related labor shortages and the Omicron outbreak, which forced workers to isolate and disrupt operations, increasing prices. When there is less supply, but the demand stays constant, food costs are almost guaranteed to rise. Small grocers frequently have slim profit margins, thus, price hikes are required to offset the rising cost of items caused by labor shortages. They may go out of business if they do not raise pricing. Labor shortages. While the pandemic continues, another crisis is brewing in the background, affecting Canadians from coast to coast by restricting what they can find on shop shelves and on their dinner tables. The food and beverage industry, Canada's largest manufacturing employer, is experiencing a crippling labor shortage that threatens to collapse the country's food system as we know it. Even before the absences due to the pandemic, companies employing over 300,000 Canadians reported more than 20% vacancies. Among other chronic issues, the pandemic has exacerbated a crisis of worker fatigue, early retirement, a scarcity of qualified tradesmen, and employees quitting concentrated environments. Vaccination mandate. But before we continue, go ahead and click the like and subscribe buttons. It takes a lot to make these videos. Your small actions tell YouTube to keep promoting our videos. Now back to the video. Small grocery stores in Canada, which rely on the United States for everything from fruits and vegetables to cereal, are beginning to feel the effects of the trucker strike. This strike has resulted in the partial closure of a key border crossing between Canada and the United States. Due to their limited resources and finances, independent grocers are more vulnerable to price fluctuations, which rise as supply decreases. They're also common in Canadian suburbs, rural areas, and Indigenous communities. They're one of the few or only grocery options. According to the CFIG, the trucker convoy blockade on the Ambassador Bridge is compounding an already precarious position for Canada's roughly 6,900 small grocers. It's another setback for an industry already reeling from the pandemic's effects and broader supply chain concerns. As the protest against Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's vaccination requirement for trucks entering the country from the United States continues, the situation for both retailers and customers is rapidly changing. Fruits and vegetables have been more challenging to come by in Canada. Soups, spices, and cereal, which were already in short supply due to manufacturing workers' strikes in the United States, are now even more scarce. Ukraine-Russia conflict. Another factor pushing the world food shortage, including Canada, is the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. Ukraine accounts for 25% of the export of wheat and corn in the world. The price of wheat also went up by 51%, whereas corn is up by 20% this year. Sylvain Charlebois, a professor at Dalhousie University, tweeted last April 27, 2022, "Is Ottawa where the world is on the verge of a food shortage? Honest question." While some Canadians notice the empty shelves in their local grocery stores, the government tells its people that there is no need to panic as the Canadian supply chain is strong.